Hey, it
He's
could have
not a
been other
baby
babies.
anymore. He's a big boy now.
Shalom, everybody.
Good
Hi,
Shabbat.
Hi,
Eileen.
JJ's not a baby anymore. He's a big boy.
Oh. Yeah, hi,
All
Gigi.
right, we are on Facebook Live. We'll wait just a couple more seconds before we get started. Good Shabbos, everyone. It is already 7 o'clock. This is one of the best months of the year for a number of reasons, one of which is Passover is coming, and it's also spring, and a lot of new beginnings. Of course,
Daylight savings.
Of course, this month with Passover, it really is a start for us to look at the year ahead, rebirth, regrouping, and may many of us find the time to kind of set our vision and our plan for what this year is to come. So I want to wish you all Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. And Cantor, if you could unmute yourself, but give me a second to mute everyone. But wait, before we do it, we always wish each other a good Shabbos. So everyone, please wish each other a good Shabbos.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos,
Okay,
everybody.
now I'll mute.
Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Hang
Good
upside
Shabbos.
down.
Sorry if I cut anyone off in the middle of their good Shabbos. It wasn't personal. It wasn't personal. So we all wave and we ask Cantor to unmute himself as we turn to page 16 for Shalom Aleichem, as we welcome in this Shabbos. I don't know about you guys. This was, I don't know why, I was talking to Carol at our Tot Shabbat that we just had on campus. It was really nice. We did it outside. We had over a dozen families there. It was really special, really nice. But as Carol and I were talking, it was a long week. And I don't know why, but maybe you felt that way. All the weeks, are they not the same amount of time? That's the truth. They're all the same amount of time. But for some reason, this week was really long. And so maybe we take a moment as we welcome in the Sabbath, we take a deep breath and we just say to ourselves, thank God that we have a moment to regroup, take a moment to tell our loved ones that we love each other. We give each other a big virtual hug and a big good Shabbos as we enter into our prayer service on page 16 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn now to Lecha Dodi, which is on page 38. And the final stanza, we stand up and we turn to an entrance in our home, the closest entrance, as we welcome in the Sabbath bride, the Sabbath Kala. This is the point in time where the Jewish people really express the importance of a Kala, meaning that we are, is as though it is our wedding day. It is a moment in which we are connected truly with with God, with Shabbos. Shabbos is the Kala, the bride, and of course, God is the groom. And we can truly make real connections today, real connections on the Sabbath. So we rise on the last stanza and welcome in this special moment. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el ha'me'echad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem multiferet v'litilah, L'chadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, L'chadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Hi, Sari. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha usachala, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, l'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela, l'chadodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela, Penei Shabbat nekabela.
On page 50, we now turn to praising God for this moment in the day in which true miracles are happening all around us and we are aware of them. May we find the consciousness to be aware of all the wonderful miracles that are happening around us. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose words bring on the dusk of evening. Ma'ariv Aravim.
El Chai v'kayam, Tamidim loch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'mahariv ha'rahavim.
With everlasting love have you loved the house of Israel, teaching us your Torah, its mitzvot, laws, and judgments. Page 52, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot hukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shach beinu u'vekumeinu nasiach beukecha. V'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yamenu u'vahem negei yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yamenu u'vahem negei yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem negei yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem negei yomam v'layla. Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meotecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh. Asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshatam leotal yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'heinecha Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
The Lord said to Moses, speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make fringes in the corner of their garments throughout their generations, putting upon the fringes of each corner a thread of blue. When you look upon the fringes, you will be reminded of all the commandments of the Lord and obey them. You will not be led astray by the inclination of your heart or by the attraction of your eyes. Thus you will be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I'm the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God.
Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kedoshim leElohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem leElohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
We turn now to page 64 for Vishamru, but before we rise, just a quick thought is that it says, Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. There is something in literature called a merism, and a merism is basically you have two polar, not opposites, but two things on a spectrum, and a merism means everything in between. And so when it says here that on 6 days God made et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, meaning the heavens and the earth, it's that God also created everything in between, and that we as human beings are certainly, we can all agree, really, at least on this planet, the most evolved creatures. And that has put us in a really interesting position to be able to be conscious of everything around us. And that is truly the wisdom that we bring to the world, is that knowledge of our place in this world and understanding that we truly are living beings, essentially, but that what is so important is that we have great opportunity and possibility as human beings to do so much. The question here that arises is, when we say this before Shabbat, as we enter into Shabbat, is that we should take this time. We should take this time to see what it is that we are going to spend this coming week, how we are going to really increase our humanity in the world, increase happiness, increase joy, but increase everything that we possibly can in this world. We continue with page 64 with Vishamra.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz, ve'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam.
We now take this moment as we prepare for the silent Amidah for the Sabbath, which can be found on page 68. We take a moment for our personal Shabbat prayers as the cantor leads us in the few words of meditation.
Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana svatai tiftach. Ananananana ufi agid. Ufi agid tehilatecha.
Grant abundant and lasting peace to your people Israel and to all who dwell on earth. For you are the supreme sovereign of all peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel in every season and in every hour with your peace. Praised are you, O Lord, bestower of peace upon your people Israel.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Yasher koach to you, Cantor, and just a few words of Torah before we move on to some special blessings. When I moved to Santa Clarita, one of the things, and it's also this way a little bit in Encino and certainly in other places, but each and every one of you will be able to relate to this. Certainly recently, when you wake up in the morning and maybe you step outside and it's 30 degrees out, 39 degrees out, and then a few hours later, it's 82 degrees. It is crazy. And I was talking to some parents and, at the shul earlier, and as they were picking up their kids, how do you even prepare for something like that? How is it that you're supposed to prepare a kid they got to wear a winter jacket almost, and then to just figure out within a couple hours they need to be in summer clothes. One of the things that we understand from this is that we all realize that the morning is cool, but we know it's going to be a hot day. This is exactly like life. You don't go through life by the way it is right now. What is now is certainly important in terms of your experience, what's happening to you right now. But what is there now is not an indication of what is going to be. I've heard people say over the course of the year, I've said it, I know some of you have said it, where they say, it is what it is. Have we all heard that saying? It is what it is. Yet we know that what it is right now It's not going to be tonight or tomorrow. We know that. And yet we make this statement. It is what it is. This week's Torah portion, we are introduced to the greatest sin. And how I like to translate sin is really the missing of the mark. It happens in this week's Torah portion. We often see that the greatest missing of the mark or the greatest sin is in the formation of the golden calf. We all remember this story. Yet we know that the Israelites missed that mark well before the formation of the golden calf. Moses goes up the mountain to receive the covenant. We all remember the story, right? To receive the ultimate connection with God. As time passes, the Israelites grow weary. They start questioning, well, where did he go? Where is he? They get concerned. Perhaps Moses won't come back. Perhaps it's not going to happen how I want it to happen. The morning is cool, but we know it's going to be a hot day. The Jews' greatest missing of the mark was when they went by what was in front of them, what was there. They succumbed to the idea that what was in front of them, it is what it is. What was there at the time was not an indication of what was going to be. When we become so identified with the moment, when we become so identified with just one thing, we lose all perspective. We lose what is called vision. When we live in possibility, that is where we truly find clarity. The greatest sin of the Jewish people was their identification with the moment. This leads to idolatry. In fact, we actually see this all over the place today. If you're paying attention, you see it all over. Identification in just one possible thing. Those who are most identified with one thing journey down a very, very narrow path towards what we understand to be the golden calf. When we live in possibility, our vision broadens and clarity increases. Let's learn from those who went before us to trust the importance of clarity of vision, the corrective insight of focusing on possibilities as opposed to problems. The morning is cool, but it's going to be a hot day filled with possibility and so much vision. I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And if you saw, we had our beautiful daughter here, Sari. I just want to bring her onto screen real quick. This is a special Shabbos for us. Everyone's waving, and she looks a lot like her mother, I know. But what is really special about this Shabbat, it is called the Shabbat Kala, the Sabbath of the bride. Many of you may know that on the Saturday, that the bride and groom often are called up to the Torah before their wedding, and it is called an ufruf, right? We're all familiar with that, maybe a little bit, a calling to the Torah, right? But it's also called a Shabbat Kala, where we say beautiful and wonderful things with the Kalash on this day, on this Sabbath, and it just so happens that this Saturday or this Friday, this Shabbat, is Sari's wedding week. She will be married this Thursday, so we are very, very excited, very, very just pleased. I know our family is just, our hearts are pounding, very excited. So I wanted to take this moment to give her a little bracha with the community so that she has this opportunity. Things are different this year. We all agree that we don't necessarily have the opportunity to be in front of our community, to be called in front of the Torah soon enough. Amen. May we find speedily to be able to safely gather soon enough. We all say amen to that. But in case when you're unable to be in front of a Torah, we take this moment to say a bracha. So I just wanted to say that. We love you, Sari, and I wanted to just do this quick bracha in front of our community. Misha berach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, v'Rech, et hakala, Sarah, Rachel, Chaya Sarah Rachel, sorry, that's my mom. Chaya Sarah Rachel, bat Avraham Samach Halevi, Asher Bakarov Yikansu Lechupa, Ba'avur Sha'alta, Likvod HaMakom, Likvod HaTorah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yadrihem Livnot, Bait BeYisrael, Bait Bo Yashkenu ahava va'achava, shalom ve'reut, bait bo, yegadlu, vanim, bivriut, uv'ausher. Bahavat Torah, uv'ma'asim tovim, v'ishlach bracha, v'hatzlacha, b'chol, ma'aseh yedehem, v'nomar. Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless this beautiful Kala, the bride, Sari, who will be joined under the chuppah this Thursday, and who has come for this blessing in reverence for God and respect for the Torah. May God help you build a Jewish home based on love and harmony, peace and companionship. And may you both, you and your beautiful Isaiah, be blessed with healthy children. A little pressure there, huh? And lives imbued with happiness, love for Torah, and Maasim Tovim, good deeds. And may God bring blessing and success to all their worthy endeavors. And we all say, Amen. Many, many beautiful simchas to come. And may this year with your beautiful Chatan be a year of joy, happiness, and rebirth. And we all say, Amen. So wanted to also at this moment, we offer Misha Berach for those who are in need of healing spiritually or mentally or physically at this time. And it has become our custom to offer those prayers with the singing of the Misha Berach, but also if you could please put the names of those who are in need of that healing in the chat so that we as a community are able to say those prayers. Misha Berach.
Mazel tov, sorry. Misha Berach Avotenu Makor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Asher Koach to you, Cantor, and offering those prayers. May God send a speedy recovery for those in need, a refuah shlema, a refuah nefesh, a refuah guf, a complete healing of body and spirit. And let us all say, Amen. We now rise for Aleinu, which can be found on page 118.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu gekoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, Umistachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamelachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz umoshav yikaro b'shamayim ha'al ushchinatu zo begav he meromim Hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efezulato, kakatu betorato, beyadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'elohim.
Ba, 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 ba. Okay.
Vashamayim imha ve'al haaretz mitachat ein od.
For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory, as it is written in your Torah, the Lord shall reign forever and ever. And it has been foretold, the Lord shall be sovereign over all the earth. On that day the Lord shall be one, and shall be acclaimed as one.
Kakatuv b'Toratecha, Adonai imloch le'olam v'hed, v'nehemar, v'haya Adonai lamelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, U'shemo echad.
We ask those who are mourning or observing Yortzeit, please remain standing, and may the memories which we cherish and lovingly now recall inspire us so to live that we too may bequeath a heritage of precious memories to those whom we shall leave behind. In tribute to our departed, may we enrich the lives we touch, and may we share and preserve the faith which our mourners will now affirm as they rise to sanctify God's name in the hollow words of the Kaddish, which can be found on page 124 in this week's Yortzeits. Arthur Cohen, father of Ray Cohen; Adine Reckon, mother of Debbie Olch; Abraham Gillette, grandfather of Arlene Gold; Irv Crane, father of Stephanie Schnee; Victor Lobel, father of Thomas Lobel; Joseph Turpis, father of Cecilia Bachrock; Ruth Winger, mother of Mark Winger; Isaac Zayon, father of Herman Zayon; Harold Stern, father of Arnold Sisk; Marie Anna Turpis, mother of Cecilia Bachrock; Regina Zayon, mother of Herman Zayon; Sidney Jacobs, brother of Nancy Siegel. Again, the mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 124.
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'amad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omeomaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal. Shemei dekudusha barichu. La'elah min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'amiran ve'ama v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom v'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
May God, who sends peace and harmony to the heights, grant us peace and harmony for us, for all Israel and all humankind, and let us all say Amen. Cantor, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Is it possible we could do an Adon Olam maybe? Just to get a little bit of excitement. Adon Olam on page 128.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that the new improved Adon Olam.
No problem. Adon olam asher mala b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'ed nasa v'hefza kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kitlot kol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu oveh v'hu yeh betifara v'hu echad v'yein sheni Laham shilo lahachbira, beli reshit, beli tachlit, velo haoz vehamizra, vehu echai li v'chai goali, v'tzurchev li be'et sahara, vehu nisi umanos li, menat kosi be'yom ekra, be'yahado akid ruchi, be'yeti shan ve'a'ira, V'imruchi gaviati Adonai li velo era.
Yasher Koach to you, Cantor. Thank you for a beautiful service. Each and every one of you want to wish you all Shabbat Shalom. Our final moment together is, at least for right now, please God, is that we will be able to say the Kiddush together. So we rise on page 90 for the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'avav ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lamikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim lekulam. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
See you tomorrow night. Services tomorrow at 10, and see you tomorrow night in this very room for Havdalah. Please unmute. and
Shabbat
wish each other
Shalom.
good
Mazel
morning.
tov, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah.
Mazel tov.
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat
everybody.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Mazel tov, Shari.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. See you all.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.